hurt yourself?
I'm referring to last night. We had our little online virtual gala to raise funds for some projects for Carlington Booch.
Yes.
It was a great success. I think it was awesome. Well done. You can go to Carlington Booch or Ashes Rubies. The actual live feed is there. I think it's an hour and 20 minutes. You hear some of our impact stories and then a chance to donate. So it was really well done, I thought, from this side of the camera. And then afterwards, we're like, oh, we did such a good job, and it's so awesome. And then somebody...
You.
I don't know if it was me.
You.
I don't...
You said it.
Well, my pregnant friend was there, so she could have said it.
You said it.
Somebody... McDonald's, and next thing you know, we're in the car rewarding ourselves with garbage from McDonald's. So I woke up this morning going, why would I reward myself with garbage from McDonald's? And I feel like I ate garbage from McDonald's out of the garbage can.
I'm pretty sure.
And I'm intermittent fasting.
It's not really ice cream.
Maybe that's not even a reward. Maybe that's just punishment.
I had a hot fudge sundae and a small fry, and I eat them together.
You're not allowed to eat ice cream.
I love to eat
ice and fry.
Ice cream,
sweet
together.
And salty. No, I think that's a legitimate reward.
I reward
but when you're
myself.
crushing a Big Mac at 11 at night, I don't think that's a reward.
The meat's the wrong color.
The meat's great. Yeah. So, how do you reward yourself?
I think I have a bad habit of rewarding myself with food.
Yeah, negative ways. I don't know if that's negative.
I also, no, I do. Like I buy myself flowers. Like, is that a reward?
I think that's a reward for being alive. Yeah.
Oh, when my job ended, is this a reward though? Remember in I think it was February or March, and I was doing the bills, and I realized that my Starbucks card was hooked up to the credit card.
See, I think reward and addiction are two, they can overlap, I think.
I just felt like my job had ended, and I was in a post-trauma of
and
collapse, not collapse.
And so you were just drinking Starbucks to reward
yourself? I would
yourself?
treat my friends, and I would get a drive-through, and I would treat myself. Is that reward? Yeah, I guess so. If I'm treating myself.
Do you find talking to somebody on the phone a reward? Like taking a break and talking to somebody on the phone, sitting outside?
Going with somebody, being with somebody.
Doing a walk,
is a
COVID distancing walk?
No, that's just life. It's just what I like to do.
Okay.
A reward?
Yeah.
What do you...
That's a reward. Going for a walk with somebody?
It's an activity that I look forward to.
Yeah, rewards are hard, eh? I like a good little coffee, as a reward. Not not like a crummy, watered down instant coffee, but an important coffee.
If I go for a really long walk and it feels like exercise and I'm really proud of myself, then I want to reward myself with coffee when I get back.
Or chips.
No.
That's counter. Yeah. Anyway, I think rewarding ourselves can be tricky.
A complex relationship.
It can be complex relationship.
I have a complex relationship with
between
myself.
Rewarding and addiction. Anyway. Combating shame would be an appropriate title.
Such a great day.
Shame. Oh. Where's my glasses?
Oh, glasses. Get your glasses, old man.
Early.
Speaking, happy birthday, Jason. Happy birthday.
Jason Parks. Happy birthday. Bye-bye. Combating shame. Shame can hold us back, hold us down, and keep us staring at our feet. Ugh. Watch out for shame. Many systems and people reek of shame. They are controlled by shame and may want us to play their game with them. They may be hoping to hook us and control us through shame. We don't have to fall into their shame. Instead, we'll take the good feelings, self-acceptance, love, and nurturing. Compulsive behaviors, sexual addictive behaviors, overeating, chemical abuse, and addictive gambling are shame-based behaviors. If we participate in them, we will feel ashamed. It's inevitable. We need to watch out for addictive and other compulsive behaviors because those will immerse us in shame. Our past and the brainwashing we may have had that impose original shame upon us may try to put shame on us. This can happen when we're all alone, walking through the grocery store, or just quietly going about living our life. Don't think, don't feel, don't grow or change, don't be alive, don't live life, be ashamed. Be done with shame. Attack shame. Go to war with it. Learn to recognize it and avoid it like the plague. Prayer for today. Today, I will deliberately refuse to get caught up in the shame floating around in the world. If I cannot resist it, I will feel it, accept it, then be done with it as quickly as possible. God, help me know that it's okay to love myself and help me to refuse to submit to shame. If I get off course, help me learn to change shame into guilt, correct the behavior, and move forward with my life in immediate self-love. Amen. I like how it said, go from shame to guilt, because shame is part of your identity. I am something bad. I am bad, and guilt says I've done something bad. And then you can go make amends for it. But shame actually separates us from the Spirit of God. It takes us out of the light of the Spirit.
I can feel the difference. Like, when I think about it, I can feel the difference between, like, that flood of, like, a shame.
Brene Brown. Oh, how she describes
like,
shame.
I can picture, like, saying something stupid in front of people, and, like,
and you feel the warm...
that heat just, like, envelop you, and you just want to get sucked into the
How
earth.
does Brene Brown put it?
I don't remember.
The warm wash of shame.
Yeah. Whereas guilt is, like, it drops and you realize, oh, I did some... Oh, shouldn't have done that.
How do I make amends?
Shoot. Okay, and then my brain automatically starts thinking, how do I fix this? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That's happened at work so many times where I'm like, I missed a deadline. And I can just own it. I missed a deadline. I'll fix this.
I missed my boss's flight booking.
My boss is on the phone. His phone's ringing, and I know he's supposed to be getting on a flight. And I'm like, I didn't book his plane ticket, but I can fix that. So I'm like, boom, 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 boom.
Remember when you had a boss?
I had a boss. I feel like I still have a boss.
Lord.
Because
the
I feel
Lord
like,
is your boss.
But when something is, like, about who I am, how I behave, how I talk, how I act, how I speak, whether people like me or don't like me, if I'm too big, if I'm too loud, if I'm whatever, it's a different feeling. And I really still don't always understand how to get out of it. But yeah, Brene Brown teaches some really good tools. She talks about, like, your drag a body person, like, who would help you move the body. And I was like, what does that even mean? And it was in this great book I was listening to of hers. I love that she narrates her own books. And she said that, like, her friend's mother was an alcoholic, and her mother was staying at her house. It's an older, like, her friend is grown and has children, and the mother comes to stay at their house. And the mother, the family's at work. Her friend comes home. The mother is passed out drunk on the couch, and her kids are coming home soon. And she's like, I gotta call my drag-a-body friend. Like, you're my drag-a-body friend, because I would call you to help move my mother's body to the bedroom so that I don't have to have that conversation with my little kids right now, because it's not appropriate, it's not helpful, it's not, it's just not.
Who's your drag-a-body
Who's your drag-a-body friend? And I was like,
are those good friends?
Yeah, those are friends.
Those are the friends. You want a couple of those.
Because those are the friends that, like, in that moment
know everything about you.
Oh, your mother's an alcoholic and she's passed out on your couch. There's this face, or there's the, okay, your mother's an alcoholic and she's passed out on the couch. Let's move her.
Let's clean up the urine on the couch.
Whatever you need. We're going to move her, and you want to talk about how to talk to your kids about this? Let's talk about it. You want whatever it is that you need, but no true good friend pulls you into further shame.
And condemnation.
You let your mother come to your house, or like,
why would you do that?
Well, how could you let her?
How could you leave the ball out?
Oh, that's so terrible. I didn't even realize.
Typical you.
When I have an extreme response to somebody else's thing that's happening, I'm actually heaping more shame on top of them.
This is a big topic, and it's a kind of a passionate topic because it's trapped so many of us. Shame is one of the big three that block us from the light of the Spirit of God. resentment, shame, and fear.
Fear.
And so those are the things actually we want to be rid of. And so that is our part. And I really think that we live in shame all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk to me like I talk to me a lot, then I don't know if we'd be friends. And then I think shame comes from the addictive behavior. Shame comes from our childhood, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when we get into recovery, I think shame comes from behavioral management, trying to change my actions to change my heart. And so I see it in the Christian world. It's like, this is what the expectation of being a Christian is, and so I better do these things. The reality is, doing those things, you'll never continue to be able to do them unless you have a heart transplant. Unless God doesn't fix your problems, He actually transforms your heart. And so then my behaviors start to change because I'm filled with His love and His peace and His joy. And I'm content and satisfied with life with Him as my guiding light. And so I think before that happens, we try to implement, and I'm horrible at it with even in our relationship in the past. I'm like, don't bite your fingers, don't do this, don't do that. And it's like we look at the behavior, and if we try to just attack the behavior, it heaps more shame on us, because we can only do behavior management for 2 days.
Right.
Or 3 days, or like 2 weeks. And it just heaps more shame and blocks us from the Spirit of God even more. Yeah. Shame. Don't live in shame. What does it say? Attack shame, be done with shame, go to war with it. Shame is not who you are. Your true identity lies in the recovery from hopelessness. Yeah, God will give you hope through a relationship with Him. May you find that today. Yeah. Anything else? You're a shame warrior, by the way.
I don't know what that means.
You attack shame.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I try, but it definitely suffocated me for so long. And what I was thinking was like, how do we show people? Because I think shame is it's so good at separating people and isolating people, keeping them hidden. And like, I don't think everybody needs to share their story the way that we do. I don't. And actually, Brene Brown agrees with me. But people keep so much hidden, and it keeps them away from other people. And I've seen so often where we have the honor of like a glimpse into people's lives, and they're honest and things aren't great, and then like maybe they'll relapse and they go away, and it's shame that keeps them away. I think.
I would say I would agree with that. Not everybody has to share their story publicly. Like, I mean, online and stuff.
Like this.
But I mean, like, it's the most valuable asset that you have to bring people out of shame, because you get to share your vulnerability and instantly form a line of transmission. So don't come under that. My story. My story's mine.
This. Like, everybody doesn't have to share their story publicly and be. Everybody knows. Like,
maybe they
literally everything about them. But so often people will share like a glimpse of, and this is why. It's because your story is a vulnerable thing, and then there's this like pressure, I think, once people like are share about something, that if they don't like fix it, that they're wrong or bad, and that's just not the truth. Like, one of my favorite moments at one of our Ashes to Rubies events last year was like a guy who came up to share his story, and I remember you were kind of chatting, and then he said something about like relapsing, and then you asked him like, oh, how long, or no, you asked him how long he'd been sober.
Oh, and
he was like, I just
sorry.
relapsed like 3 months ago, and
it
the
was really
whole
cool.
place cheered.
Clapped and cheered.
Everybody cheered, and like, I don't know what the answer is. I just know that it pains me to see people suffering alone.
When we come out of shame and we're in recovery, we want to share our stories with other people, and it helps them. It helps like have a line of transmission.
But when we're actively suffering, I think we're under shame. And whether like, because so often people feel like we're doing it to ourselves, addiction, mental health, like so much of it, overeating, like all these things, like that we're doing it to ourselves. And we come under that lie too of like, we're doing it to ourselves. I have to fix this. So working.
Good stuff. Friday, there's a contest. Do we do the I don't even know how. I have no contest.
You are very bad at running.
I'm horrible at running contests.
You just want to give away
But this
free
weekend,
stuff.
if you want to engage in the post, like, share, comment, then on Funday, Monday, we will draw a T-shirt or
Maybe.
a hat.
Maybe we'll draw it on Monday.
Or maybe I'll forget. All right. Have a